Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Hearthstone's Titans expansion has been around for a few days now, and the meta is starting to stabilize enough that I can present to you the best decks that you can use to climb all the way to Legend in Hearthstone Titans. I have went through all the statistics available on HS Replay, and these are the results. So coming in at number 12 we have Drum Druid. There are a couple of different takes on Drum Druid or Treant Druid. You can try to be more aggressive with the Treants, maybe with Blood Treants and stuff. You can be a little bit slower with Ionar, Freya, but both of those approaches are too weak to climb. The only successful variant of Drum Druid is this one that uses Topior and places heavy focus on the drum circle. What you really want to do is get Solar Eclipse, Drum Circle, where Drum Circle uses both effects to just build a giant board as early as possible. And that's pretty much the main thing that this deck is trying to do. And consequently, the deck is quite slow to get started, but then it gets a huge swing turn. But when you're up against something like Mech Rogue, and Mech Rogue snowballs completely out of control before your swing turn, when you're up against Nature Shaman can actually get enough spell damage to clear your big swing turn at the moment when you can do that. When you're up against very aggressive hunter decks, then yeah, your big swing turn just is not enough. However, when you're up against decks like Hound Hunter, against Rainbow Mage that have not yet killed you at that point, you get your big swing turn, and the swing turn comes fast enough that they don't kill you, like Rainbow Mage doesn't kill you from hand next turn, then you can win some games. So Drum Druid, it's kept in the meta because Hound Hunter and Rainbow Mage are pretty popular, and you have great matchups against those, but then again, Mech Rogue being really super popular and that being your worst matchup by far, means that Drum Druid balances those good matchups with some really poor ones. Number 11 we have Relic Demon Hunter. Relic Demon Hunter has not changed much with the expansion. I mean, it added Jotun the Eternal, it added Argus the Emerald Star. Both of those are reasonable contributions. If you have to choose, Argus is the stronger of the two, so you want to go with Argus rather than Jotun. But the overall game plan of the deck has not changed. You're trying to make good use of your relics and overwhelm your opponent. The 10th best deck in the game right now is Thaddius Warlock. Thaddius Warlock, okay, we had Thaddius Warlock also in Festival of Legends. What did Thaddius Warlock gain in the new expansion? Well, it gained Forge of Wills. It gained Sargeras the Destroyer. It gained Loken, Jailer of Yogg-Saron. So now it's even cheatier. Obviously, you still have Amorphous Slime. You can discard your Thaddius with Amorphous Slime, then you can get some more Thaddiuses going. But you also have Forge of Will so that you can Loken and get some big minion like an 11/11, and Forge of Wills that 11/11 for some big minions. You have Imposing Anubisat to defend a little bit, and you can also turn that into another 7/7 with Rush. In addition to the Anubisat itself, and the 7/7 with Rush can also attack. So you're able to cheat out stuff more effectively than ever before. That said, there are a couple of ways that you can lose games. You can lose games if your opponent is able to stall enough and then just OTK you, like Rainbow Mage and Nature Shaman can do. And sadly, Rainbow Mage, Reverberations. When you make a couple of 11/11s, Rainbow Mage is going to cast Reverberations on the Rush one, then they can just rush into the main one and ping away the Rush one, because now it dies when it takes 1 damage, and boom, Reverberations just completely answers Forge of Wills, so that's a bit awkward. And Control Priest has lots of tools to answer everything you have. And then there's obviously the problem with Mech Rogue, because Mech Rogue just snowballs out of control and kills you before you get to do stuff. Another more recent Warlock archetype that has appeared in this meta is Curse Warlock. I mean, hey, Curse Warlock is not new. I mean, we have the curses. We had the curses already before. And curses cut to your hand and deal some damage. But Curse Warlock also got some impressive new tools. Thornveil Tentacle, an excellent early survival tool. Drone Deconstructor. Drone Deconstructor alone enables Great Defiles, because you get a 1/1 from that and it's a 1/2, so there's 1 and a 2. So Defile deals at least 3 damage. And Sargeras the Destroyer for some inevitabilities and also some removal. So Curse Warlock was improved. We don't have a lot of stats on Curse Warlock yet. So actually I'm a little uncertain whether Thaddius Warlock could be better than Curse Warlock, but right now it looks like Curse Warlock is less polarized than Thaddius version. It has more ways to win games, and I think Curse Warlock might be the Warlock deck to look out for in the future. But we still need more data on this one. And at number 8 we have Control Priest. Control Priest, the best card in Control Priest right now is a 1 tool. Amantul is a wonderful card. You can also make copies of Amantul. Well, you can make copies of pretty much everything. You can grab stuff from the opponent's hand. You can destroy big minions very early. You just have so many ways to handle things. So when your opponent is playing for the board, trying to grow a big board, well, Control Priest typically just has answers. So like Mech Rogue, they just won't get to build their board that effectively. Thaddius Warlock, hey, cheats out a couple of big minions. So what? I'll just kill them or copy them or kill and copy them or whatnot. However, then we have OTK decks like Rainbow Mage and like Nature Shaman, and well, they just kill you from hand, so there's not a whole lot you can do about that. And also Hunter decks. Hunter decks can be really fast, or they can be really sturdy, and they just have a little bit too much going on for you to respond. The 7th best deck in the game right now is Pure Paladin, and this is a fairly new Pure Paladin list. This was not already built on the first day. This sort of dude pure stuff with Astral Serpent included, with Grime Street Outfitters, with Seafloor Saviors, and this seems to be the best performing one. This is another deck that I would like to find more statistics on, but this looks more impressive than any other Pure Paladin list right now. And also this list can really challenge Mech Rogue, which is a great upside, but it has its weaknesses as well. At number 6 we have Rainbow Mage, and Rainbow Mage has basically two ways to win games. You have the Cosmic Keyboard, so when you cast spells then you're also summoning minions all the time and you win through tempo and then some minor burn. And then you have Sif, and eventually you will be able to use Sif and some damage spells to deal one turn kill damage. So two approaches, depends a little bit on what kind of matchup you're in, how the game is actually going to proceed, which one you will choose. But it's a fun deck because it has all of those tools available to it. It can go different ways, there's lots of decisions that you can make, and a couple of win conditions as well. It has a bunch of strong matchups. Reverberations, remember Reverberations? I mean, Reverberations is just such a great card. So strong against Thaddius Warlock, hey, what if they put some big minions out there? You just reverberate and ping and boom, we're doing great. But there are also decks that can just apply so much pressure, like Hunter decks, that Rainbow Mage will crumble. And in fact, right now in the top 5 decks, I have 3 Hunter decks. Yes, 3 Hunter decks, would you believe? And the weakest of the Hunter decks is the Secret Face Hunter variant. People are playing a lot with the Hunter Secrets. Hunter Secrets are doing quite well. You can combine them in a couple of different ways, and the first way would be Face Hunter. So then you just have Starstrong Bow and you have all the Wild Seed packages and Posig and Kraken Banes, and you just go in, deal damage, use secrets to disrupt and win games. This deck has some impressive names on its strong matchup list because Mech Rogue, Control Priest, Rainbow Mage are decks that you really kind of want to beat, and you're able to do that with this one. The number 4 deck is the most interesting deck right now because Nature Shaman is a deck that has improved in performance day by day. Not many decks can boast that. Not many decks do that. Like in an expansion, you first play against lots of unoptimized stuff and you have a high win rate, and then people start playing better decks and the win rate goes down. But Nature Shaman, it's the exact opposite, because Nature Shaman lists have developed a lot over the last few days, and now Nature Shaman basically is this deck that summons a board full of totems and gives them spell damage with bioluminescence, and then kills you from hand OTK with spells. That's the sole purpose of Nature Shaman at the moment. So the arrival of these Nature Shaman lists with Carving Chisel and with Totemic Evidence has really been the turning point. And there are still lots of bad Nature Shaman lists around on the ladder, so that's why Nature Shaman statistics in general are quite unreliable, and I think Nature Shaman has potential to even go further, but we'll have to see, we'll have to wait for a little bit more stats. Regarding card choices, the legendary that makes your overload spells cheaper seems bad. Radiance of Azara, I'm not sure if that's actually viable. I'm not sure if that's actually something that you want to include. Maybe you would want to include Thorim instead, because Thorim does look quite good. I think I would have loved to see a list that replaces Radiance here with Thorim, but I couldn't find one. And Golganet Thunder is doing really, really well. I mean, it draws you some stuff, it can remove some stuff, just a wonderful card. Then you just make the totem board, Bioluminescence, OTK. That is the real nature of Nature Shaman. Number 3, we have the most popular new deck in the game, and that is Mech Rogue. So you just play mechs, and you have Mimir and the Mastermind, and those Mimir and gadgets are insanely strong. So if you can make good use of Mimiron. If you can protect your Mimiron, that just ends games. You have lab constructors. If you can forge that so they can magnetize into something, then you just start creating copies, and if opponent can't kill all of those copies, then you just completely snowball out of control. Then you have Ini Storm Coil, so you magnetize a lot with this deck. You have a big minion, you play Ini on that, and now you have 2 of those. Even though it doesn't keep copying itself, then it's still pretty great. And of course, if you copy something that already has a lab constructor on it, just craziest things will happen. Voltron Prime, not that great in this deck. It's playable, but it's not one of the superstars. It's just magnetizing, getting big stuff out there, and blasting people to pieces. Mech Rogue has been doing really well in this expansion. But I said earlier that I have 3 Hunter decks here, and you have only seen one, so you know that number 2 and number 1 are both Hunter decks. But what are they? The number 2 is the Secret Arcane Hunter. It's another take on Secret Hunter that does not go face nearly as much, but it has all of the Arcane package in it. And I have been truly impressed by the performance of this archetype. It's kind of hard to keep track of the Secret Hunter stats, because like Ages for Play just says that they're Secret Hunters, but Face Hunter and the Arcane Hunter are actually really different, very different decks, even though they are currently being tracked as a single archetype. So I expect that we will eventually find statistics separated by the archetype, and then we can make even better conclusions. But right now, Arcane Hunter finally playable and also looks really strong. But not as strong as the good old Hound Hunter, because we have the same number 1 deck that we had in Festival of Legends, still number 1 deck in Titans, obviously with some differences, because we have Titanforce Traps in here, and we have Agramar the Avenger in here, and Agramar the Avenger is the best card in Hound Hunter. So Hound Hunter is just, because Hound Hunter was always this pile of really good cards. So it's able to just grab, hey, there's a couple of new good cards, let's just add them, cut a couple of weakest cards from the list, and we keep blasting. It has been able to add just the best cards. It has so many legendary cards in it, it's so incredibly expensive, but it's also very good. However, it is not completely dominant, because Mech Rogue and Thaddius Warlock both have really good matchup against Hound Hunter. So Hound Hunter, even though it's the strongest deck, even though it has a lot of good matchups, overall it's just wonderful. It does have weaknesses, so there are currently no decks that would be just absolutely dominant that you can't do anything about. But those are the best decks early in Titans. First week of Titans, 12 decks that you can use, and with these 12 decks you can climb to Legend right now. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.